Hi, I'm Bill McLaughlin, Editor-in-Chief for Furniture Today. Welcome to this week's edition of Frontline Friday, Next Conference Edition. Just moments ago, our mentorship honoree Jake Jabs addressed the crowd, shared some of his insights, some of his career history, and we're going to have a special treat for you this week on Frontline Friday. We're going to let you hear it all in its entirety. So please enjoy Jake Jabs in his own words.
If it's nice to have family in the business, say yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for today for this great award. I was asked to speak for just a few minutes. What happened when they was giving me this award, it had me kind of make me think of where my mentorship started. And I think it really started with my parents. My parents came from Europe. My dad was born and raised in Poland. My mother was from Russia. And my dad always felt he was a foreigner in America, spoke broken English. And he always listened to the neighbors, and I used to watch him get around the fence and talk over the fence and learn and share things about what pesticides you should use in your crops and everything. I think it started with my parents. Anyway, I was born in a small town in Montana, Lodgegrass, Montana.
How small was it?
I was born November 23rd, and I won the first Baby of the Year contest. We had a sign on the edge of town that slow down, resume speed, both on the same sign. I went back for my class reunion last summer, and I was the only one there. I'm trying to figure out who sent me the invitation. So I think it started there, but Dad wanted us to get an education. He only went second grade, my mother went seventh grade. And I don't come from the furniture business or business period. So I kind of learned it, and so we all went to college. We had 9 kids in the family, all went to college. I graduated from Montana State College with a degree in education. I'm supposed to be a VOAG teacher in high schools, so I'm a little bit out of my field. But I think the lesson learned there is that teachers really are mentors. I really believe that. Most of my family really became teachers, and I believe that that's where it started, is if you're a teacher mentor. And the reason I'm not teaching school, actually, and probably if I wasn't in the furniture business and a successful furniture, I probably would be teaching. I think teaching is a great profession, and I encourage that, by the way. But the way I got out of there is when I graduated from Montana State College, Korean War was on, and I took ROTC and got a commission in the Air Force. And my first assignment was at a radar site in Puerto Rico, California. I was adjutant and personnel officer. And maybe that was like my first mentoring, where I was mentoring as a personnel officer for enlisted men and so forth in the service. I landed up with a top secret clearance, spent most of my military career in North Africa with a top secret clearance, delivering top secret mail all over Africa. Me and the first lieutenant actually had 300 enlisted men working for us, running 5 post office APOs and doing a 24-hour mail regulating section. And I was mentoring these 300 enlisted men. I know delivery is a problem now, but back in the 50s, I actually started a training school for truck drivers back in the 50s, guys, because most of the kids were from New York or Chicago or somewhere, didn't know how to drive a truck. But so I think I was mentoring kids back there. Got out of the service and played music for a while and opened a little music store in Bozeman, Montana. Probably there too, again, I didn't have a business background, and I know a lot of the business people I got to meet them and clicked with my music career. I was playing music, and they got to know them, and they were telling me good things, how to run my business, how to get a financial statement, and all that things. So I think it started there. But where I really became a mentor is after I started American Furniture Warehouse, I started doing TV commercials. How many of you have seen Jake Jabs and his animals on TV commercials? Because some of you have. And so I became a celebrity. So that with that, being an entrepreneur, successful businessman, and a celebrity, I had a lot of requests to speak for all kinds of colleges, high schools, civic organizations, clubs, and so forth. So it started there. So I do a lot of public speaking. And from that, I landed up with making a list of 39 keys to business success. And by the way, I've written a couple books. I know if you guys have, I know some of you, a lot of people, you probably bought my books, and they're in my books. But the 39 keys to business success actually became very popular, and some colleges and high schools actually have these 39 keys to business success in their curriculum. So that was really the thing that really kind of got me going on speaking in college and high school. I spoke last night to a group of inventors, for example, and so forth. The list goes on and on. I just speak every week to actually different clubs and everything. But my keys to business success, and I'll give you copies of, if you guys want them, by the way, I'll give you a copy and you can make copies. But like number one is the secret to free enterprise is find a need and fulfill that need. Two is be honest, live below your means, keep your credit good, and so forth. Have a passion for what you do. And entrepreneurs don't do it for the money. And I think one reason I've been successful is my dad taught me, he says, don't do it for the money, because he actually escaped communism. He was in the Russian army when Lenin and the communists took over Russia, and they wouldn't let him out because he could speak Polish, German, and Russian. And he was in there 7 years. And what happened, people with money, they just disappeared. And so he always told those kids, says, don't try to get rich and make money, because there might be bad things happening to you. So I was never in it for the money. And I think one reason I've been successful, I never did it for the money. And by the way, entrepreneurs don't do it for the money. I studied entrepreneurs, and they don't do it for the money. They do it because they're helping people, making things better, making life better, and doing a lot of good things. So entrepreneurs don't do it so I've never did it for the money. And that's another reason I've been willing to share. I think I've been willing to share in my books, and everywhere I speak, I'm willing to share my knowledge and all the things I've done. So that's where the mentorship comes from. And the lesson learned, and just in closing, hopefully all of you too will become mentors, because it's fun, it's good, you're giving back and contributing to society. And from that, it came that Jabs Hall. There's a building in Montana State University, alma mater, and this is a picture of it here. It's a real modern building. I designed the building, and to show you the good that this has done, it's actually invigorated the whole college. The college is growing. Not very many colleges are growing, but Montana University is growing. The Jake Jabs College of Business and Entrepreneurship School is growing 15% every year. It's become the biggest business college in Montana, past the University of Montana, because of my new building, a very modern, contemporary building. And where that came from, I was speaking to at Montana State, and the college building was old and moldy, and we thought about remodeling it and changing it, and landed up building a new building that's, and by the way, this has won some awards for being the best new college business in the country. So really proud of the Jake Jabs College of Business and Entrepreneurship at Montana State. And from that, the University of Colorado has opened up a Jake Jabs Entrepreneurship School too, and they're building 3 stories to that. One floor is going to be the Jake Jabs Event Center, next one to Jake Jabs Auditorium, and so forth, so on. But the lesson learned there is if you can help education, I think the whole problem in the Middle East, in my opinion, because I spent some time there when I was in the military, is a literacy problem. I think if there was more literacy and more education in that part of the world, that they wouldn't have all the problems they have in the Middle East. So in closing, I encourage all of you to become mentors and help people. And thank you very much.